What a powerful performance to begin AI for good, innovate for impact. AI for good. Rania, please give her a round of applause. Rania, please give her a round of applause. Now, I found myself being pulled into this visual dynamic presentation. What inspired this performance? What inspired this performance?
So I guess I researched a lot of different technologies. One of my big focuses this year is to sonify critical data. Inspired by the UN 17 I decided to focus on development goals. I decided to focus on and so the very last audio that you heard was an explicit sonification of world temperature anomalies from 1940 to 2024. And so that's kind of my emission at the moment.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, you're a creative, of course, and creativity goes through everything that you do. We have everything that you do. We have a room full of policymakers. How can they tap into their creativity? How can they tap into their creativity?
Well, I think one of the amazing powers of AI, how quick we can brainstorm, how fast we can test speculative opinions. There are so many important decisions that need to be made. Everyone needs help. Everyone needs a lot of potential where there's a lot of potential where creatives can help facilitate some of these perhaps creating experiences based on speculative opinions, give a little bit more experience, the invisible things that we are stuck in our heads about, perhaps stuck in our heads. There's so many critical decisions that need to be made at the moment, and I think this is where the intersection of art, technology, science can come together and help explicitly. Specific experiences that are intended for public discourse and critical thinking.
Incredible, Rania. Thank you again so much for kicking us off with this great performance. Please give her another round of applause. Please give her another round of applause. Well, good afternoon, everyone. AI for Good to Innovate for Impact for Good at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference here in Shanghai, China. This year's conference is governing AI for good and for all. And I can't think of a better way to kick us off on day one of WAIC, on day one of to bring the International Telecommunication Union platform to Shanghai to explore ways that AI can impact the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, drives positive change for people around the world. My name is Brandon Andrews. I'm an AI entrepreneur. And I'm an AI moderator and I'll be your moderator for this afternoon's I'm very excited about the program, and I hope you are too. I hope you'll stick with us all afternoon. I hope you'll stick with us all afternoon. I'm excited also to be joined in moderating by my friend Yates. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Thanks, Brandon.尊敬的各位领导、各位先生们、来宾、女士们、大家下午好。欢迎各位来到今天研讨会的现场。我是来自上海广播电视台东方卫视的节目主持人子龙，很高兴能够跟在座的各位共同去见证一场科技盛宴。首先为大家隆重的介绍莅临本次活动的各位领导嘉宾，让我们掌声欢迎嘉宾工业和信息化部党组工业和信息化部单中德副部长单中德。国际电信联盟电信标准化技主任韦尚承造。
Director of the Communication Bureau of the ITE. Also, we have Zhang Mudi, Deputy Secretary General of Shanghai Municipal Government, and Xie Xiaofeng, Director, and also Zhou Ciyong, who is the Deputy Director General of UNIDO. We have Xie Xiaofeng, Director General of the Science of Technology of MIIT, and we also have Dr. Mary Dr. Mary Chief of Executive Office of Social Human Science in UNESCO. Also being with us, we have Rong Zhenqing, Deputy Director of Shanghai Municipal Commission of Economy and Information Technology, Councillor Xu Xinling from the Singapore MC in China, and President of CAICT Yu Xiaohui. Please join me to welcome this participating guests.
Welcome. Welcome. Respected Seizo Onoki, Mr. Zhuang, Mr. Zhuang, ladies and gentlemen, dear. It's a great honor for us to meet in Shanghai, the AI for Good Innovate for Impact seminar. I would like to express my gratitude to the coordinator of this meeting, the great support of ITU, This event is also the expansion of the achievements of the AI for Good. We will implement the philosophy of AI for Good, exchanges and cooperation, on behalf of MIIT. I would like to express my warmest welcome and sincere gratitude. So in a new era, AI will be driver for the new industrial revolution, and generate far-reaching influence on the human civilization. Of days ago, during the 17 days, during the 17 Congress, any form of consultation, other countries, China have submitted the proposals about cooperation about cooperation of 140 countries have attended this. It emphasized on intelligence for good and intelligence welfare to mankind, to focusing on the AI capacity building, and aiming to countries, especially developing countries, enjoy equal benefits out of AI. The global AI governance, to achieve the 2030 agenda. The 2030 agenda benefits opinions. Implement this resolution. Give priority development, centricity, human and centricity. Seek for collaboration. Actual deeds. We can help developing countries reinforce developing countries' capacity and also capacity. And also the AI to empower sustainable development, the common welfare of mankind, and community of shared destiny, global AI technology is developing super fast. It has become the core power for driving the new industrial revolution. So we have people, technologies, empowering different industries, changing medical, financial, of other aspects, dependent applications. Actually, China's AI industrialized has been over 180 billion yuan. The number of AI enterprises is over 40,000. We have 11 pilot application centers for AI. We have the Yangtze region. We have the Yangtze region with the pilot areas. So we have in-depth collaboration. Digital warehouses, intelligent warehouses, intelligent factories, and also the revelation of the productivity has been improved by 480%. 480% has been greatly improved, which has greatly improved the high quality and green development. China is focusing on the safety and the development of So we can advocate different parties, adhering to AI for good, adhering to human centricity and human centricity, and invited by ITU. We have attended the AI for Good Global Summit in Global Summit in Geneva, released the global AI governance. China is willing to work in hand with the rest of the world, reinforce our exchanges and collaboration AI, and to prevent the risks posed by AI, extensive regulatory framework, so we can build a better world. A better world. Technologies can benefit the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the central government has put forward that we need to carry out AI task force, implement instructions of centering on AI, centering on use the AI technologies to promote industrial development, industrial development, collaboration with the UN agencies, including ITU, working in concerted efforts with international community to discuss about standards, to discuss about the fundamental applications, regulations of AI, and reach international consensus. And we would like to establish open, inclusive, stable world. Safer, stable world. It's a very well-established AI, ecosystem. AI. So let's work hand in hand. So let's work hand in hand. Technologies can empower the whole sectors, and we can create a civilized, harmonious world for all mankind. Last but not least, I would like to wish this event a complete success. Many thanks go to the wonderful presentation from Mr. Sham. So the WAIC 2024 launched, and that is UNAI for Good. First trip in China. So would like to invite Mr. Zhang Muli People's Government to address the event. Welcome. Respected Mr. Shan Zhongde, Mr. Zhou Zhiyong, Mr. Cesar Onoi, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon, dear friends, good afternoon. It's a great honor in the WAIC 2025 and AI for Good Innovation for Impact hosted by ITU. On behalf of Shenzhen Municipal People's Government, I would like to express my warmest welcome to all the friends coming to our meeting today. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to those who show your support and care for Shanghai's development from different walks of life. Now, the AI technologies keep evolving. Their applications are more extensive, bringing unprecedented convenience, but it also gives rise to some ethical risks. So the development application of AI, it's regarding the ethical standards. AI for Good has become a common appeal of international community in face of new industrial landscape. Shanghai attaches much importance to AI capacity building, focusing on the LLM, coordinated development of both hardware and software, take an active part in the AI for innovation and AI for good. In 2021, Shanghai has launched its standardized mechanism regarding the AI capacity building and established our expert commission. We are dedicated to promoting the innovative development of AI and LLM. And we would like to promote the scale-based and regulated development of AI. Thirdly, we have formulated the first local regulations regarding AI. We insist on AI for good, tech for good, and human centricity and market-oriented development. From the legal and regulatory perspective, we have systematic arrangement for AI for good. Now, AI has been at the onset of a new development stage, and its safe governance is very important. So AI would like to seize opportunities, great changes, to face the different challenges in face of the future. Shanghai is willing to work with the different stakeholders, enterprises, different walks of life institutions. We will start from the AI ethicals to improve our system and considering the underprivileged groups, promote the sustainable AI for good, and we will have tiered governance. We will promote innovation and also the legal regulation of AI. We will take effective measures to promote the development of AI, and we would like to have inclusive but cautious, prudent governance regulation for AI. We will focus on AI, LLM, or organizing industrial task forces to promote the development of systems and to guide the industry to grow stronger and bigger. We will accelerate the incubation of the AI ecosystem. Dear delegates, distinguished guests, this event is part of the event by ITU. We have invited politicians, academicians, and also entrepreneurs to get together and make your voices heard and exchange our views regarding AI. Hope we can exchange our minds. A lot of knowledge to be learned or learn from, which will provide stronger intellectual support for AI. In the end, I would like to wish our event a complete success. Many thanks go to the wonderful presentation of Mr. Zhuang.
Secretary General and the Vice Minister, we have leaders, government and otherwise, who understand the potential of AI and also the need to create a strong, safe, reliable infrastructure for this innovation to move forward. Now we'll hear from another leader who understands the incredible potential of AI, Mr. Seizo Onoue, Director of the Telecommunication Standardization Bureau at the International Telecommunication Union. Please welcome him for opening remarks.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ministers, and delegates to this AI for Good, Innovate for Impact event. I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Shang Zonde, Vice Minister of Industry and Information Technology, Mr. Zhong Moody, the Deputy Secretary General of Shanghai Municipal People's Government, and Mr. Yu Shaofui, President of China Academy of Information Communication Technology, for your partnership and support for this event. The discussion at the World AI Conference show how AI will come to influence almost every aspect of our societies and economies. And we are honored to bring insights from AI for Good to Shanghai. The Innovator for Impact project is designed to harness the transformative potential of AI to address pressing global challenges and advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The program aims to bridge the knowledge gap and promote the application of AI in solving critical issues through the collection, analysis, and dissemination of impactful AI use cases. The program's achievements include fostering collaboration among global scholars and experts, resulting in refining analysis of all applications and the creation of a vibrant platform for regional viewpoints and global solutions. This is highly important to ITU's standardization work. At the United Nations Specialized Agency for Digital Technology, the International Telecommunication Union's standards work brings together over 193 member states and over 1,000 members from academia and industry. We have now published over 100 standards on AI, around 120 are under development. And this number is always on the rise. AI is now key to network orchestration, multimedia coding, and optimizing the energy and cost efficiency of our networks and data centers. It's also creating breakthroughs in the area from climate action and agriculture to disaster response, healthcare, and road safety. That's why ITU is so invested in building bridges between different areas of expertise. These breakthroughs are driven in large part by new connections among AI specialists, AI users, data owners, and experts in domains where AI could contribute decisively to sustainable development. ITU is stimulating these connections with the support of AI for Good initiative with 47 partner UN agencies and over 30,000 professionals now part of the AI for Good neural network. And with some of the standards applied as part of our global challenges, they are already helping to build AI capacity around the world. Most of our participants in challenges are students from developing countries. We want safe, secure, and trustworthy AI that leads to the better life for all. The spirit of collaboration and consensus that powers standardization work is exactly the spirit needed to succeed. Standards represent voluntary commitments to new ways of working together. They provide essential technical foundations for new industries to grow and established industries to keep moving forward. It's a highly collaborative process. Working together on standards, we build mutual trust and understanding. We create the confidence to continue innovating and investing. As new innovation ecosystem emerge around AI, standards will be essential in bringing this ecosystem to global scale. But to achieve this, standards need to be the result of a process that is inclusive, transparent, and aligned with our ambitions for a better world. ITU offers this assurance together with ISO and IEC. We offer a standardization platform where all participants' voices are heard, and every step forward is determined by consensus decision. And as a leading development of international standards, we are uniquely positioned to guide coordinated action from standards developers and a growing range of stakeholders in standardization. Our cooperation helps to position everyone for success. AI is changing our world, and we have deep experiences to build on. Standards have helped us navigate the technology revolution after revolution. With every breakthrough in science and technology, we have come together to develop the standards required to thrive in new frontiers. That's what our standardization process are built for. All for you, whether in government, industry, academia, or civil society, can drive our standardization work with your contributions and consensus decisions. I look forward to the discussions here at WAIC and to continue to build partnerships to ensure that AI is inclusive, responsible, and is part of our shared sustainable future. I thank you for your support.
Thanks.
Okay. Now we're going to the very important session for today's event. We're going to have an official launch of the AI for Good, Innovate for Impact report. Please join me to welcome these two guests, Mr. Xie Shaofeng, who is Director General of Department of Science Technology of MIT, as well as Mr. Seizo Onoue, Director of ITU-TSB. Please put your hands on the screen. And put your hands on that hand symbol on the screen. Please join me for the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the official launch of this report. Please come to the center of the stage and we can take a group photo. Thank you. With the support of MIT, the report received more than 200 cases from all over the world, and 53 excellent cases from 19 countries finally selected, covering all 17 UN SDGs. Thank you very much, Mr. Xie and Mr. Onozo. And now we're going to the keynote speech session. I'll hand over the microphone back to Brendan.
We're all the incredible impact that artificial intelligence is having for the common good around the world. You know, the UN system touches every part of the world, so there's perhaps no better place to start with to show the potential for AI to do good. At this year's AI for Good Summit in Geneva, the UN Secretary General said he believes artificial intelligence can turbocharge sustainable development. The Secretary General of the International Telecommunication Union followed his statement and said it's her wish to scale AI solutions and rescue the Sustainable Development Goals. Joining me in conversation will be a range of leaders from the UN system around the world. One, Mr. Seizo Onoue, Director of the Telecommunication Standardization Bureau at the International Telecommunication Union. Mr. Zhao Si-young, Deputy Director General of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and Dr. Maria Grazia Squicciarini, Chief of the Executive Office, Social and Human Sciences at the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Please welcome them to the stage. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start with your agencies and how you're using artificial intelligence to promote and achieve your mission. Mr. Seung, maybe I'll start with you. How is your agency leveraging AI to promote and achieve its mandate?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, for the opportunity really to join this session and also for your question. I think for UNIDO, UNIDO is a special agency, one of the special agencies in the UN system, mandated to promote inclusive and sustainable industrial development. So of course, for AI definitely is, transforming industrial development. So as an enabler, as a transformer. So for us, for UNIDO, particularly UNIDO's member states, including China, now, I think this is becoming one of the priorities of UNIDO's work, because UNIDO member states expect UNIDO to support them, particularly those countries from the global south, because they want to understand the implications and the impact of the development of AI for their economy, for their industry. So in this regard, UNIDO is working on some initiatives to assist its member states in capturing the opportunities presented by AI development. For example, so on smart manufacturing, so this is definitely an area UNIDO already plays some kind of role in assisting its member states in basically using the AI technologies to improve the decision-making process, like including managing their supply chains of this production process. Also then to help them to improve this kind of energy efficiency and resource efficiency, to reduce basically the inputs for the production of industrial goods. In addition, also that for the manufacturing sector, then how the AI could be used to reduce their negative impact on the environment. Basically, I think the AI could help us to monitor the entire process. Wow. To find that the optimal way, to basically for the manufacturing. This is one. Another is our work on bridging the digital divide through capacity building. As already emphasized through the UN resolution on this capacity building for developing countries that's initiated by Chinese government. So this is an area also you need to spare efforts on through capacity building, through also this kind of creating a platform for you need those member states being from public sector, private sector to learn from each other. Also that through partnership with UN system agencies, including ITU, so and other UN agencies like UNESCO. So another area also UNIDO is working on actually is that to promote this kind of conducive policy environment to promote innovation. So this is, I think, from strategic development perspective, you need to assist its member states to develop AI strategies. For example, we support Jordan government to develop its very first edition of AI strategy. So through this strategy, then the government of Jordan plays human development as the top priority, how the AI deployment could benefit the entire society, not only a small group of the people or the entities. So this is more or less the work UNIDO is doing.
It sounds like UNIDO is doing a lot of work with AI. I hear in your response SDG 9, industry and innovation, and of course SDG 17, partnerships. Mr. Onoue, would love to hear from you. How is your agency using AI to achieve its mandate?
Yes, from ITU side, ITU is also one of the United Nations specialized agency, but for the data technologies and ICTs. So then we launched AI for Good in 2017. So having 7 years history, that's already the global movement with 47 UN partners and 30,000 members in our networks. Also, that work at AI for Good is bringing problems owners from across the UN together with problem solvers from industries and academic institutions to address the sustainable development goals. And this year's global, AI for Good Global Summit in May, many people pointed out and emphasized that how standardization will play a great role in the implementation of the AI governance. Actually, one of the bureau, I'm working for the Telecommunication Standardization Bureau. Standardization is very important. That was very good point to me. That's my role. So, and then our standards work is committed to building a consensus and publishing technical standards on a wide range of the food through the contents authentication, through the watermarking, to the climate actions via green technologies. So, as such, we are now working on the very wide range of the technological areas for the standardization. And also it will help implementation of the AI governance. That's our work, a lot of things to do.
Incredible. One, you've built this global platform with AI for Good that, as you said, has existed for a number of years, and now you've moved beyond not just innovation, but into governance and responsible AI, which is incredibly important. Dr. Squicciarini, welcome to the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
How is UNESCO using AI to achieve its mandate?
Well, we are using AI in many ways, and I really want to apologize with the audience because I was in the other meeting, so I just ran here. So UNESCO, I think all of you know it because of the nice label close to some monuments, right? And that's when you associate the idea of UNESCO, which is indeed one of the things we do. But then there are other two letters in our acronym, that is United Nations Science, Education and Culture Organization. And this is where AI enters in the S of science. And actually at UNESCO we have two sectors, one that is for the natural sciences, and the other one that I belong to that is for social and human sciences. Now, what do we do? Since ever, UNESCO has been dealing with and is the organization tasked with dealing with the ethics of new science and technologies. And this is AI. So we have two committees actually that scan the horizon constantly to look at technologies that can impact on humans and societies. So in the past, for instance, UNESCO has been dealing with the ethics of the genome or the ethics of climate change. So we have been one of the first institutions to raise the attention on not only the problems that can arise in relation, for instance, to the environment, but also and especially the impact of climate change on people. And then from 2019, UNESCO has been working on the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence, which was then adopted in 2021 by our, at that time, 193 member states, and actually led the United States to get back to UNESCO after that. And what the recommendation does, and this is how we leverage AI, is not only to put principles and the values on the table, but actually to detail 11 policy areas for which AI, we believe, should be ethical. By the time UNESCO says ethical, it means nothing more and nothing less than respecting human rights, human dignities, and fundamental freedoms, which actually means that in areas from education to data policy to the environment itself to addressing gender, there are clear prescriptions on what countries can do to foster and enable ethical AI. And then we also have devised a very structured implementation strategy, because very often in policy, we all have clear what is to be done. What it is very difficult is how to get there. And this is also what the recommendation helps addressing.
Wow, wow. It sounds like there's been years of work done, one on AI ethics, but also in ensuring that the technology and the impact of the development of the technology on the environment, et cetera, is known worldwide. Let's move to the broader UN system from your organizations. Mr. Onaway, maybe I'll start with you. What can the UN system do to ensure that AI is supporting the Sustainable Development Goals?
Yes, we are very proud to showcase some cases of ongoing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some.
So actually, first, we have AI for health activities. This activity started with our focus group activities. Focus group on AI for health with a collaboration with the WHO, World Health Organization. So coming from joined by the experts from WHO, it will through some new technology, new aspect of the health care, such as telehealth solutions and AI-enabled diagnostics, and also, but we will need require the high quality, trusted standards, and that will where ITU can play a big role. And the second case is we have some natural disaster management. This is also started with the focus group on natural disaster AI for natural disaster management, together with the collaboration with the WMO and UNEP. And yeah, then this is also by leveraging the technical expertise from our ICT communities and combining them with the weather and climate experts from the WMO and UNEP. We are supporting sustainable solutions for billions of vulnerable communities. That also we have another cases AI for digital agriculture with the collaboration with FAO. As such, we have some collaboration with the other agencies. Such combination of the combining of the expertise, we are creating such solutions by AI.
Some dynamic programs using AI from the ITU, and it sounds like some great partnerships as well. Mr. Seung or Dr. Scucciarini, are there any specific programs at your agencies that you'd like to highlight?
I think from UNIDO side, I think it's important for the UN system as a whole really to support that this kind of like global discussion on say how to maximize the opportunities say generated by or from the AI department for SDGs. And also mitigate the risks associated with the development of AI that for these SDGs. Basically, as already discussed in the previous sessions, AI presents both opportunities and challenges for the development. So for us, UN system as the intergovernmental agency mechanism, so it's best positioned to play the role as a neutral blocker, to set up the standards, to provide guidance for the entire ecosystem to follow. As already mentioned by UNESCO representative, ITU also not only ethically how to use AI for development, also that for good, But for us, now mostly the discussion globally is on the risks. For us, I think we need to also to have a balanced approach, how to also or to take advantage of the opportunities presented by the AI. So that's why for SDGs, by nature, they are associated with the sustainable development. Yeah, from social side, from environment side, for economic side. That, I think, AI technology is an enabler. That's why transformer. All these SDGs could be associated with or supported by the AI technologies. So for us, we need to work as together, as one kind of like voice to advocate that like the theme of this WAIC, AI, governing AI for good and for all. Thank you.
Incredible, incredible. And I love what you said about standardization there. And that really gets to the next question that I have. As we think about AI governance and international collaboration, what should the UN be doing? Dr. Switcherini, maybe I'll start with you. What should the UN be doing to advance governance and international collaboration when it comes to artificial intelligence?
Absolutely, there is a lot that we can do as a system, and we are already doing a lot. So actually, UNESCO, together with ITU, is chairing the Intergovernmental Group on AI, and we produce a paper that already shows how much the UN system has already done in order to inform the governance of AI. Now, we actually, together with the 47 agencies, so that's what we are talking about, we saw that there were about, I think, 200 initiatives already, that if you look at them, they're really done in a synergetic and synergic way, showing how there is not one only solution to the problem, but that the conversation is very much advanced in the sense that this is a technology that not only goes at scale and speed, and the scope of it really calls for synergetic approaches. Now, in terms of the governance, UNESCO especially has been working a lot, for instance, in the context of the G20, in order to understand what are the institutions that are involved in the governance of AI, what are the legislation that are in place, what are also the endowment, both, let's say, the infrastructural endowment, the data center, the data access, etc., as well as the human capital endowment, for instance. So which kind of people do you need in governments and in private companies, because it's not the same thing. So this mapping is being performed not only in relation to the G20 countries, but actually we have developed a mechanism which is called the Readiness Assessment Methodology, so-called RAM. This is the acronym we use. And this aims at mapping in order then to share the good practices and understand what can work better. The idea being that normative instruments like the recommendation can serve as a level in the playing field, because this is a technology that doesn't know any boundaries.
It definitely doesn't know boundaries. Actually, over the past month or so, I've been hosting an interview series where I'm engaging with entrepreneurs from around the world that are using AI to impact the SDGs. And I have to tell you, I've been so impressed by the range of solutions that are offered. I think about a company like Bearcraft Consulting from India that's using AI for logistics. Mr. Seyoung, you would appreciate this, to support local artisans there in India, increasing their wages and also providing consistent products for small and medium businesses around the world. So the limits are certainly not there. It's certainly boundless potential. And I think the UN has a big role to play in ensuring that the responsible AI that we all want and need to see actually happens. So as we continue to talk about governance, Mr. Onaway, any suggestions or recommendations for you on how the UN can move forward governance and international collaboration?
Yeah, actually, one thing I would like to say that this year's AI for Global Summit, we set one day for the AI Global Governance Day. So AI for Good, that week was WSIS week. So many government of high-level officials coming to the WSIS. So we have set a very good, we can provide it, a very good platform for discussion of AI governance. That's a very important point for the UN systems. Actually, the UN will have a convening power to bring global leaders together in the chat to chart the course forward for the inclusive and sustainable AI solutions. That I wanted to point out.
Yeah, definitely important points there. As we close our conversation, how can AI innovators or other policy leaders connect with you all if they have solutions or ideas that might advance this goal of using AI to support sustainable development? As we close, any suggestions on how to connect with either this audience or others? You can start, Mr. Seung, and sure.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think for this subject, for this issue, I would say it's still the most, I think, challenging part, as already discussed on various occasions or forums, they said that AI divide, or AI deficit between developed and developing countries. And we see clearly the concentration of AI technology development and deployment. And for us, as now in this digital AI era, the winners take everything. So it's difficult for the, basically latecomer to catch up. This is not like traditional industrialization era. So still the latecomer or newcomer still may have chance. So that's why for UN system, including UNIDO, our main priority now is really to address the digital AI divide or deficit. As already mentioned, that through the UN resolution on capacity building on AI, that's why I think we need to really mobilize all the resources and efforts to support those left behind to catch up. Firstly, to raise awareness or say on the impact of AI development on their economy, on the global economy. Then also how they should catch up. Then support them with capacity building, particular skills, training, all these programs. Then to have them find opportunities. So in this regard, Chinese government, including municipal government of Shanghai, now are very, supportive. That through the establishment of the AIM Global Center of Excellence in Shanghai, which will be used really, for us to support this capacity building for developing countries in particular.
I think that deserves a round of applause. A new global center of excellence here in Shanghai focused on artificial intelligence, and I know the most recent UN resolution really focused on bridging that divide and ensuring that we have democratization when it comes to AI resources. Dr. Squicciarine, I'll give you the last word here. Anything additional to add?
Honor and duty. Well, yes, I think the accent here should be on implementation. Implementation. Our colleague said we do have the convening power, which we do. Perhaps one word that hasn't emerged yet is multi-stakeholders. So we do have our channels and they're public for anybody to reach out to us and take part in this journey together towards more, an ethical AI. And again, the issue here is also to move at pace. Because with the new developments that we are seeing, what we are seeing, there is a burgeoning activity also in terms of things that are discussed, and there is a tendency to put back on the table the discussion on the values and the principles. Well, those have been agreed by countries. Let's now work to implement them to make sure that AI is for the good of people and not that people are put at the service of the technology, because very often the discussion is technology-based, whereas what we should be asking is, what do we want AI to do for society, and guide that in that direction?
I think that is a great question to end on. What do we want AI to do for society? And what follows from that is, how do you achieve that? If we want AI to help end poverty, if we want AI to help bring innovation, if we want AI to protect life on land or life below the sea, whatever the SDG might be, incredibly important question to end on. So, go ahead.
For instance, in the recommendation, we emphasize, and this goes exactly in the direction, the need for redressal mechanisms. By the time AI does harm, there should be in place a mechanism whereby you can stop the AI and you actually compensate those that have been harmed. Or, for instance, the fact that AI shouldn't be given personality. Because when there is personality, it means that there is no liability anymore. So there is a principle which is the human oversight. So there are many ways that are already contained. It's a matter of putting them into reality.
So I spoke too soon. Mr. Seung has something additional. One more thing.
Actually, I really highlighted the importance of capacity building for developing countries. to address the digital or AI deficit or divide. So UNIDO just published a policy brief on bridging the AI divide, empowering developing countries through manufacturing. So this brochure, so which is available, I think, in the WSC's kind of website. Basically, in this policy brief, we provide some practical recommendations for developing countries to consider how to improve their capacity in the field of policy making, in the field of skills development, in the field of access to financing. So then this is a kind of joint effort between UNIDO, Cambridge University, Tsinghua University, also UN University, Macau, and also University from Brazil. So we hope that this will be also of interest to you guys. Thank you.
Wow. Yep, give that a round of applause as well.
Just from ITU, ITU also has some lot of content for the capacity development, so we can contribute to that area as well. Just I wanted to say.
Thank you. Okay, so UNESCO, UNIDO, the ITU, all here focused on using AI for good and using AI to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you to our panel for today. Please give them another round of applause as they leave the stage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Thank you, no problem. So our UN leaders talked about the work that they're doing. Now we're going to have a report release that will show the work that AI has done so far. So I want to invite back to the stage Mr. Onoue from the ITU and Mr. Stanley Dai, Deloitte China's Deputy CEO, to tease a new AI impact report. Welcome them to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to announce the launch of the AI for Good Global Summit Snapshot Report. Report, yeah. And that is now available online for everyone to explore. This report highlights the collective efforts, groundbreaking innovations, and inspiring stories from our recent summit in Geneva. As many of you know, the AI for Good Global Summit is more than just a conference. It's a movement, a gathering of brilliant minds dedicated to harnessing the power of artificial intelligence to address some of the world's most pressing challenges. In this snapshot report, we will find a comprehensive overview of the key discussions and insights that engaged from the summit. From healthcare to education, climate change to accessibility. The report highlights how AI utilizes to drive positive change and foster sustainable development across the globe. Our team has worked tirelessly to ensure that this report is not just a summary, but a vulnerable resource for policymakers, researchers, practitioners, and anyone interested in the transformative potential of AI. One of the key takeaways from the summit is the importance of collaboration. The challenges we face complex and multi-faceted, and addressing them required connected effort from sectors of society. This report underscores the necessity of partnerships between government, industries, academia, and civil society to create a future where AI benefits all of humanity. I encourage each of you to explore the report, share its findings, and join us in this journey toward a better future. As AI for Good Global Summit snapshot report is more than a document, it is a call to action, a testament to what we can achieve when we come together with a common purpose. Thank you to our partners at Deloitte who worked with us to prepare this report, and to all our partners who are helping to ensure that AI is a force for good.
Thank you, Onoi-san, for recognizing Deloitte. It's truly worth diving into the report. And as you alluded, using AI for good stands as a testament for our shared mission. The shared mission brings together all the distinguished guests today from the United Nations, government, AI experts, and the AI enthusiasts around the world. And I'm delighted to be here for the announcement on behalf of Deloitte. At Deloitte, we are passionate about becoming AI savvy. More than 400,000 Deloitte professionals, especially the younger generations, are embracing AI transformation. Through our AI Academy, an immersive and hands-on learning program, we are training more than 120,000 professionals with generative AI skills and exploring their wide range of applications across the industries. We're changing of our ways to do business through AI. We're also helping our clients changing their ways of doing business. While our mission is to create great business value for our clients, we also aim to make an impact for our society. And I believe the AI for good is a true reflection of this purpose. I believe through our collective effort, we will achieve our ultimate goal for AI for good. That is to channel its power to create a more equitable and sustainable and prosperous world. The snapshot highlights the key announcement and the insights from the ITU Summit in May. And the upcoming AI for Good Impact Report will be a beacon of knowledge, a nexus of collaboration, and a source of inspiration on how AI can be used to accelerate social good. Here in China, Shanghai, at this grand event, it's truly very meaningful for us to launch this report because China is one of the most active centers for AI innovation and applications. And is a source of vitality for AI involvement. We are very excited for the announcement to report to the world and China about our progress. Going forward, we will continue collaborating with each other. And together, we collaborate for a future that AI is a force for social good and the technology and the humanity converge, where it is a world that we are all proud of. Thank you so much.
Incredible, incredible. And as an attendee of the AI for Good Summit in Geneva, I know it was an incredible event and the snapshot is worth taking out. We'll pause here for these gentlemen to take an actual snapshot before moving to our next session. Again, the AI for Good Global Summit snapshot in partnership with Deloitte. Please check that out. So we know where the AI for Good movement has been, but where is the AI for Good movement going next? To discuss the next wave of AI for Good, join me in welcoming Dr. Lily Chu, Assistant Managing Director of MSRA at Microsoft.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vice Minister Sang Ononse and Deputy Secretary General Zhang and distinguished guests. It is my great honor to represent Microsoft at this important event. AI is around us, benefiting our life, making our life more convenient, comfortable, productive, and even more entertaining. AI has touched almost every aspect of our life, from the food we take to the services we enjoy, from the kids' education to adults' employment, from finance to healthcare. AI is posed to transform companies, society, and government. AI can amplify human ingenuity, extend our capability so that we can achieve more. At Microsoft Research Asia, we are actively developing sensing and AI technology for healthcare. As we all know, AI advance depends on availability of data, and sensing is a way to collect the data to feed to AI. In addition to leveraging conventional data, such as visual and auditory data, at MSRA, we create wireless sensing technology to empower AI with the sixth sense. By perceiving beyond line of sight, detecting subtle movements such as breathing, heart rate, sensing various physical properties and chemical composition, and all these are done in a privacy-preserving, energy-efficient, and non-invasive manner. Let's take a look at breathing monitoring as an example. Breathing monitoring is very important to detect a variety of diseases, such as COVID, pneumonia, sleep apnea. But existing breathing monitoring requires wiring up users, which is not only inconvenient, but also uncomfortable to users. Would it be possible to develop a breathing monitoring system that is more comfortable to end users? We have developed an acoustic-based breathing monitoring system. It's just a smartphone app. It works like a bat. It emits inaudible sounds. And when user breathes, his chest moves, and this small movement can cause a change in the reflected signal. By analyzing the change in the signal, we can accurately monitor humans' breathing. We compare our smartphone app with the medical-grade device for breathing monitoring. A unique advantage of our app is it doesn't require user to wear any device, yet it can achieve empower everyone on this planet to have the skill to survive in a digital and AI-enabled economy. As an example, at Microsoft Research Asia, we have a project on Oracle bone restoration and curation. As we know, Oracle bone is the earliest evidence of Chinese writing system. And due to change of ownership, Oracle bone has many duplicate copies. So researchers at Microsoft Research work with the university to develop a diviner model that can search through thousands of script images to detect new and duplicate copies to speed up a research process. A unique advantage of diviner model is its self-supervised learning capability so that it can achieve high generalizability. Moreover, we have developed a detailed plan to create a sustainable future. We are actively working with non-profit organizations in China on biodiversity. As an example, one of the projects resulting from this collaboration is a tool that can efficiently detect animal footage through infrared images. We have seen AI has created an unprecedented opportunity and connected people from never before. But ultimately, the question is not only what computer can do, but what computer should do. Our journey started from defining the principle of responsible AI, as Satya Nadella has outlined in 2016 in the Wired magazine. Now we are putting these principles into practice. Our goal is to make AI a common commodity that can be accessed by everyone everywhere. We see that over 1 billion people live with severe disability. 40% of global population does not have access to education in a language they speak. 99.95% of world population does not know how to code. Large language models have the potential to make everyone an AI-powered user. We want to enable everyone to speak using their language, and so that they can instruct the AI system to satisfy their need. Generative model can help close this digital divide. AI is a new general-purpose technology that can change the world. Together, let's build a future with AI to benefit everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chu. I think the future of AI is now. I heard in that presentation SDG 10, reducing inequality, SDG 3, good health, as well as a number of others. I have to tell you, Dr. Chu, I was raised by my grandmother, and your acoustic monitoring is exactly the kind of thing that she could have used, and I know that kind of technology coming out of the Microsoft AI for Good lab will have a positive impact on people all around the world. Again, the future of AI is now. We'll move to talking about global telecommunication and AI standards. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Thomas Bisokolo from the International Telecommunication Union. He will moderate our next conversation. Thomas?
Thank you very much. Welcome to this panel on global telecommunications and AI standards development for all. My name is Thomas Bascolo. And as you already know, that ITU has been developing international standards, especially in the space of telecommunications. But right now, we have more than 320 standards related to AI. Of course, some of these have been already approved, agreed, and are in force. Some standards are still in development, but we are doing quite a lot of work in this space. So right now, we would like to have a discussion on how we can utilize these global standards, especially in telecommunications space, but also AI standards. Our director, Sezo Onowe, already introduced about the work that we launched on standards collaboration in AI watermarking, multimedia authenticity, as well as deepfake detection. It's my pleasure to welcome keynotes, but also a panel session. So we have 5 minutes keynotes from different speakers. First of all, I would like to invite Zhao Delif from Alibaba Damo Academy for a quick keynote presentation. And after that, I will invite the other speakers. So, Mr. Chao, please come to the stage for your keynote.
Before, I'd like to thanks for giving us the opportunity to share with Alibaba Damo Academy's work in the area of AI for good. I have 2 cases. We're now in the digital era, and the emergence of AI gave wings to our era. So all of the potential areas that are influenced by AI and algorithm will witness great development, including healthcare and the information exchange and spread of a large language model. But we know cancer or various chronic disease is the enemy for human longevity. The treatment of cancer have high threshold and pretty expensive. For the majority public, they cannot have access to high-quality therapeutic solutions. And we wonder, can we utilize the AI capability to bring high-quality healthcare to the general public? So here in Damo Academy, we have our exploration. While we provide healthcare diagnosis and treatment, we need to perform CT and other expensive checks, and we will try a solution to use a regular CT scan to diagnose cancer and other chronic disease. And you can see our results are already published. For example, pancreatic cancer, which is known as the king of all cancers. Once diagnosed, you have a very short window of treatment for pancreatic cancer. And the spread of information also has to do with the large language model. In the English-speaking, Chinese-speaking area, it is already widely used. But for the less developed areas, like in Southeast Asia or in Africa, it is not yet widely used. And we also know that the large language model will improve the capacity of knowledge spread, healthcare, and education. But where this technology has no access, the benefit cannot go. So for our Damo Academy, we also did our work in this area for pancreas cancer and lung cancer, where CT scan can bring high-quality diagnosis. Our model is already very accurate. Another is a large language model. In the minority language, we have a Southeast Asia model for the specific culture and customs of Southeast Asia. And also we include various laws and regulation. It is customized, specialized language model. We know currently the base model can be very powerful, But when it relates to certain verticals or minority languages, these models cannot be very well used. So for these minority languages, having an inclusive AI is really important. So we built such a specialized model, particularly for Southeast Asia. And we use these multi-language LLMs to bring access of AI to more localities. This is another case of AI for all. And this is a patient, a young girl who just recovered from surgery of pancreatic cancer. And this is a case using the capacity of Damo Academy. And this is a misdiagnosed case among more than 2,000 real CT scans. And with our hint, the doctor diagnosed with the cancer in time. And when this valuable time for treatment, she received the surgery and now she's recovered. So she gave us a performance. The music is a common language for all. And she tried to express her gratitude with this performance. And actually, many of our AI technicians are deeply impressed with this very simple performance. So here in Alibaba, we are doing good with AI. Thank you.
Very much. That was powerful. As you can see that AI is being used in different fronts, and of course, it's used for good. So as you have seen, use case in the health-related areas, but also large language models. We have quite a lot of work in the space to make sure that we are using AI for all and making sure that we are being inclusive to make sure people in developing countries are also reaping the benefits of AI. Next, I would like to invite to the stage Qilin Yi, who is the Chief Scientist of CMCC. So welcome to the stage.
It's a pleasure and honor to be here. AI for good, AI for all. But this particular session is about global telecommunications and AI standardizations. So I would like to use the next 4 or 5 minutes to share with you a particular perspective of a global telecommunication and AI deep integration or convergence in terms of the standardization efforts, some experience and thoughts. Well, I was reminded that this particular wonderful event is mainly an event of the IT industry. So maybe the city industry is a minority of presence here. But since I am really originally from the city industry, so I would give you a little bit of perspective of the technology evolution and journey in the past 10 plus years. This is a busy chart, but the main message here I want to convey is about years ago, our industry, after 4 generations of good success and hopefully value deliverable to the global society, we have entered a new phase of our journey, which is CT encountered IT and encountered DT, aka artificial intelligence, the powerful new vehicle to elevate all of our work, to elevate our society, to elevate the quality of our life. And in this journey, there are really challenges for our industry because bringing in the deep convergence of all three segments requires the courage to work on transformational solutions, and even for our fundamental infrastructure, which I believe is an important key element to enable a lot of the AI for good cases that we already saw and can expect to see in the future. So, to fulfill this mission and take advantage of this great new opportunity, in 2018, 5 operators from 3 different regions and continents got on the stage in Barcelona and announced to the world that a new alliance is to be formed, aka O-RAN Alliance. And the focus theme is green, soft, open, and smart, which is characteristics of the deep convergence of IT, CT, DT technologies. And now, 5+ years later, today, we enjoyed more than 300 members from the global community, where including I think 30+ operators, 33 maybe at this point, together actually are serving over 5 billion mobile subscribers in the world. And more than 3,500 very active global technical experts formed 11 working groups, 5 focus groups, 1 research group, and an open source community, together diligently, enthusiastically, has delivered great results to lay the foundation for the next generation infrastructure. And some of these results are actually being actively adopted by ETSI and being transposed by ATIS and TTA already. And the very relevant key technology element in this work can be seen on this baseline architecture of the O-RAN Alliance, where there is the hierarchical RAN intelligent controller, the RICs, that are bringing in the new capabilities in the management domain, in the orchestration domain, in the control domain, and hierarchical being from the non-real-time RAM to near real-time to the real-time RAM, bringing new opportunities, new capabilities that AI promised for the next generation infrastructure. And also with the embedded RAN analytic and information exposure capability to enable any and all apps, applications, to take advantage of the knowledge that's available to share from the network, from the infrastructure, so that the application itself, all the AI for good cases, could take advantage of. And in our industry, and hopefully in the IT industry as well, we are all right now looking forward to the next generation, which is 6G. Given that 4G has transformed our life, 5G has transformed our society, 6G, I guess it will bring us to a hyper dimension for all the new possibilities, with a lot of the interesting visions and the imagination that you have heard already. But coming down to the ground, we have to do some solid technical work to ensure that we do have a globally unified 6G standards. And Not only that, that has built-in native AI from day one. And this page just shows you some of the preparation work we have done, trying to take advantage of the complementary capabilities and progress and accomplishments for various organizations. Of course, centered at 3GPP, but complemented by other organizations including Orion Alliance, and also I've listed a few others here, which I think is highly relevant to some of the topics today, which is data set. Because whether it's big data or AI, without abundant, comprehensive, large volume, diverse set of high quality data, and all of the use cases would be at the stop sign. And this has been a particular element that has been kind of a challenging for our progress. And I listed here some of the encouraging accomplishments from ITU, from IEEE, CAICT, my company, China Mobile, and CGANA, where this is kind of the, I think, still early stage effort of making publicly available, accessible data set for various scenarios and use cases. But one thing I have to say that from a quick browsing of the current collection, I think there is still a lot of work to do. Some of these data are really, I think, in terms of scale, in terms of quality, and in terms of the coverage of the usefulness, especially when it comes to the network data, there is still a lot of work to do. So I'm putting it here just as a reminder that I think hopefully ITU will take the lead to figure out a systematic, standardized manner to enable this element to be ready and to be mature in time with the 6G standards development. Okay? My key message really is we need to take everybody's strengths together and march together to have a globally unified 6G with as powerful, as rich as possible, the native AI capability. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ling Yi, for that powerful message. Infrastructure, but also data. These are some of the elements that we need so that we can have AI systems, but also we can support these AI use cases, AI solutions that can be used for good and for all. Now, the next on the list is Bi Qing, who is Chief Scientist of China Telecom. Unfortunately, there's some issues to enter this event venue. So I'm going to go to the next speaker, who is Qin Yao, the Vice President of AI Strategic and Industry Development from Huawei. So the stage is yours.
Guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a great honor for us to share what Huawei has done in addressing AI for good and how we can leverage standardization to support AI for good. it seems it's not fully AI-ized. So we talked a lot about AI for good. In the AI world, there are some very dangerous things we have listed. In the industrial sectors, we have a lot of potential risks in face of AI. For example, infringing copyright. Last year, there are many lawsuits against the OpenAI, and we have some deepfake and fraudulent propaganda, because AI will generate a lot of information and introduce a lot of falsified information. Besides, AI will also give rise to some concerns such as privacy leaking or value misalignment. With the application of large language model, it has been frequently occurring in the industries. We are thinking about how we can monitor and supervise it. Huawei is primarily a hardware manufacturer and also a basic capability provider for AI. We are working on AI for good. We are using Pangu LLM to predict the weather, so the prediction efficiency has been greatly improved. It only takes us 7 seconds to predict the 10-day weather forecast. And we are leveraging the LLM to bring transformational changes to the R&D of pharmaceuticals. In addition, how should we integrate AI for good and AI governance? We have a basic proposition that is we need to develop to recognize problems, and also through the governance we can promote, facilitate the AI development. And we have a basic idea to share with you. The AI industry is different from traditional industry. It has a very long industrial chain. So the effective AI governance needs to converge the sources of different aspects involving regulatory authorities and the users and the think tankers, the product and service providers, certification and auditing units, and also the public users, because of the AI ecosystem, these stakeholders can discuss about how we can monitor and regulate AI. At the same time, how should we demarcate a tier, or how we can categorize AI? That is the prerequisite for us to have good AI governance. So the AI system is highly complicated. We have AI ethics, AI trust, AI governance. So how can we effectively govern AI, since it has so many embodiments or connotations? How we can use the measurable, testable, available ways to govern AI? Secondly, the next stage will be standardization. Standardization plays a very important role in the AI sector. As long as the international community and the industrial sector has a unified standard, we can evaluate AI. Thirdly, we should have an objective and a fair third-party certification, which will ensure our consumers, that will facilitate the sound and virtuous development AI and also effort good. So the measurable, standardized, also certifiable will be 3 key steps for AI. What has Huawei done in AI for good? We are very prudent about AI. If you check our business flow, as you will know, the first step will be training data pre-processing. It will involve the data sets and copyrights. We would like to have a very good analytics about the data security. Secondly, we talked a lot about model security. Models will involve a lot of data. It involves our security evaluation. The third stage will be content compliance. Compliance will be the third step of what we do. The last part will be the model application. If we can ensure the safety of the application, that will be the last defense line, and that will be the last step before the launch of a certain product or service. Now, I want to talk about a core of action. Then, in face of the future development, how we can strike a balance in the governance, management, supervision. We want we can reach a consensus. With the consensus in place, we can discuss different scenarios, have scenario-based discussion. In the ICT or telecom sector, transportation, and the medical sector, they have different definitions about AI, the user scenarios, and also AI for good content. We need to clarify the scenarios of AI. And now, through the scenario-based service, we can address the certification of AI.
Last, the standardization platform of ITE or IEC or others to have a global standard to.
Thank you very much for that presentation. As you can see now, we are moving from principles up to having real governance, but of course we need to have standardization, engineering inside that space. That was quite nice. So next, I would like to invite Xie Wei King from Vivo for the quick presentation. So do we have Xie? Yes, please. The stage is yours.
大家好，我是 vivo 的 AI 产品经理。
This is AI Solution Director at Vivo, and on behalf of Vivo, I'd like to share with you the exploration of AI for good. First of all, I think you know that Vivo is a design-driven company. We want to create excellent experience empowered by science and technology, and our core business is smart terminal and smart service. Our Vivo AI team has always been dedicated to use the cutting-edge AI technologies to give innovative experience to our users, so we can unleash our users' creativity, enhance their efficiency, and they can enjoy the beauty of technology in their daily life. When we're talking to our users, we find some of users have various disabilities like visual or hearing impairment, and these users have a greater demand of AI than our healthy individuals. Since 2019, our team had a new mission. We want to use AI to expand human perception, and everyone can enjoy the convenience brought by technology. So we can seeing, hearing, understanding everything. People to people, people to environment, people to device can have seamless communication. Well, in our past years, we've done various surveys to our users with hearing and seeing impairment. For example, those with hearing difficulties, their current difficulties are twofold. First is they have difficulty in smooth communication. Second, difficulty is they have difficulty in preserving ambient sound. For example, it's difficult for them to make phone calls with the delivery man, and for the moms at night, she cannot hear the crying of her babies. She has to put her hands close to the baby to feel the vibrance instead of hearing the crying. So we hope we can use AI and other technologies to help our users in this scenario in terms of communication, no matter face-to-face or phone calls or video calls. We have two products called Vivo Voice and Barrier-Free Call. So these people with a hearing impairment can have barrier-free communication we have real-time voice-to-text technology. They would be able to talk to their family members and others in real time, no matter it's online or offline. As you can see, they can recognize English and Chinese. And this year on Vivo smartphone, we also have the transcription service. So they will be able to have access to the service without connection to the internet. Sound recognition is once they detect some certain noise like crying, alarms, there will be a vibrating alarm to the users with their smartphones or their smartwatch. So these users will be able to know this key information and react to the alarms and alerts. And we talk a lot with these hearing impaired people. We found some of them can use sign language very well. It is more convenient for them to communicate via sign language. So last year, Vivo promoted the world first sign language recognition solution. We have this sign language interpreter, and there are more than 1,200 vocabularies that can be recognized. So here is the Vivo's user case for those with hearing impairment. Those with visual impairment, we would like to find their difficulties in using mobile phones, independent living, traveling, learning, and employment. So we hope AI can help our user with per site. Last year, we also brought the first vision assistant tool called Vivo Sight. It's self-developed multi-modality large language model. Our user with visual impairment can have a better understanding of what is surrounding them. There's environmental description, and there's auxiliary shooting, and help them to find the item. This year, there's also a Q&A function where the user can talk to the phone for a particular image. We have a case. We have a father with visual impairment. When talking with their kids, he can ask a question in English, and the Vivo site can give answers in English as well.
Little piggy, the pig mom, wearing an apron, is cooking some seasonings in front of her. The little piggy stands at the door holding a bouquet of flowers and looks happy. The text reads, "We bought everything we need, so we took the bus home. This time we didn't meet Uncle."
So with this function, our user can know what is in the picture book, and he can also function to know what are the labels of the food, the text on the book. They will be able to know that in his hotel room there are 3 bottles, and which one is the shampoo, which one is the others. And actually, our product is already in our Vivo App Store, and now more than 100,000 plus users have been using that. This is a feedback from one of the users. He said that technology had truly changed his life. He said, "I really don't want to be in the position of being weak and be protected. I hope technology can bring me a new possibility that I can explore the world freely, and I can dare to make a mistake, and I can learn experience, and I can garner new skills." Giving our users such a courage to explore the world is exactly why we have the Vivo Sight module. And for many users who have visual impairment, they love music. And for this particular user group, we have a unique app called Vivo Score Reading, so they can read musical scores with the help of this app. If they listen to some good music, they can use this AI music recognition function and to transform that into a score. As you can see, they will play this particular section. and they will read to the user about the various icons on the score. And this is a function to help our users to learn music independently. So that was Vivo AI's team's work in the past years for the accessibility application. This is from 0 to 1 breakthrough, and we do know for a company there's even further way in the future. So we hope we can use the whole power of the industry. So we have open resource capability to the other developers, and together we want to use the AI for good ecosystem. If you want to go fast, go along, but if you want to go far, you need to go together. So we hope in the future we'll have an AI for good for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bichi is from here, so maybe we can hear a quick presentation from the chief scientist of China Telecom, and then we are going to go into the quick panel. So Bichi, if you are around for the quick presentation. If not, then I would like to invite all the speakers to come to the stage for a one question panel. I think we are running out of time. So all the speakers, if you can come on stage. Mr. Chao Deli from Alibaba Damo, Qilin Yi from China Mobile, Qin Yao from Huawei, and Xie Wei Qing from Vivo. Please come on stage for a quick panel. Alibaba Damo Academy. You have presented quite interesting use cases in healthcare, but also large language models. In this case, what do you need in order for AI to reach people even in underdeveloped countries or areas?
关于 AI 怎么能触达更多的地区，惠及更多的
How can we use AI to reach more people, including developing areas? Other than the basic R&D capabilities in the fundamental AI capability, for Alibaba Damo Academy, we also have some grander vision for the fundamental capability of AI. It already has a high threshold. So you need to use a commercial or business way to spread the use of AI. But for us, we hope that AI can benefit all, but there are two preconditions. First of all, you need to have a smart device that can receive information and use AI capability. This is already a barrier for many underdeveloped countries. They cannot have this smart device with AI capability. So if you want to have AI to benefit more, you need to have more inclusive or more convenient smart device that can go to more families and individuals. Smartphone is one possibility. In the future, we have other devices like a robot. This can be another vehicle for AI. So if we want to cover more people, we really need to have a more general and a more widespread smart device. Another thing is AI infrastructure. You need the terminals to have inference capabilities. You need to cloud service.
test beds. And that's a starting point. But the road is very long and the journey is gonna be very long on this effort. But I just want to make sure data is a keyword that any of us are working on 6G will keep that in mind. Okay.
Thank you very much. Data is key. Next, I would like to welcome Bi-Chin from China Telecom to the panel. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to give you for the presentation, but I'd like to ask you a question in terms of what is China Telecom doing, especially in the area of AI?
Okay. As we all know, with the success of a large language model, the expectation is high to apply the same technology to the telecommunications. However, we all know that there are huge differences in terms of the model using the language and also in telecommunications. Therefore, the expectation actually is different in telecommunication. Currently, the most successful model is based on transformer, and the transformer architecture for most people is like a black box. And however, even though it is a black box, it do have some rules and characteristics that we can understand. From today's AI model, we can at least identify 3 characteristics that represent the large language model. The first is it is based on statistics, and therefore it requires a large database, huge amount of data to train the model. And also the statistics is obtained through the optimization procedures. And also another important area is the correlation. And we all know the language and image has a significant correlation. And in the language model, for example, if you say first sentence, a lot of people can predict what your second sentence might be. So that therefore, the correlation of the past and the future is very important for the success of the large language model. The third one is really the model itself is really a compression model, means it gathers a large number of data and compresses into a mathematical model. With these 3 characteristics, we can apply similar the model to telecommunications. So for China Telecom, we basically did have a direction in a few areas. First is that we pursue the large language model for its use in vertical industries and in comparison with the general public and also general use. And China Telecom serves lots of vertical industries with a very good and deep relationship with enterprises and governments. And a vertical industry requires large language model to better serve their need. And the second area we are working on is the use the large language model for the operation and maintenance of the network. And for that, we are trying to pursue so-called the AI network model, which will be able to make us operate the network more efficiently and more optimized way. And the third area we work on is the energy saving areas. And we all know that even for 5G, the electricity bill went to the roof. And a lot of base stations are turned on and without many users at night. So use the AI and use the past history, use the history data to train the model. We will be able to save the energy and make the world more green. And of course, there are also many other vertical applications in the vertical industries, and which we are working on. And in summary, and we think we are working in many areas with hope that we can better serve the society. And finally, in terms of the application of AI in the telecommunication system, and what we see that mostly the AI is used in the improvement of channel modeling. And in addition, China has led the standardization of the AI use for the machine vision. And by using the neural network and structure, we try to recompress the vision so that it can be read by a machine.
We have to cut you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so for the next speakers, I'll give you just 1 minute to respond to my question. From Huawei, you mentioned about engineering standardization and certification. I would like to understand, maybe you can explain further why standardization is important, but also what are the next steps in global AI standardization?
我觉得 AI 的标准的下一步呢，还面临着很多挑战。我觉得
it is still in face of many challenges. We need to work on it. First of all, a very important part is that AI is in face of industrial scenarios. So on the horizontal and the vertical level, how can we synergize AI? This means great opportunities for us. Many standards are on the horizontal, including IAT, but our industries have a lot of standards in face of the verticals, and how we can narrow the gap, that is very important. Secondly, regarding the AI standards, how we can synergize or harmonize it with the industrial standards. In the industries, we have a safety, industrial quality or risk standards, and these standards can be well utilized in the AI standards. Thirdly, I also want to talk about the global standard harmonization. Global-wide, we have over 200 standards. How we can harmonize the standards, and we need to discuss and facilitate in this regard. I just talked about the deepfake, the falsified images, ITU, ISE are promoting the trust-based standards. So under the governance model proposed by ITU or IEEE, how we can unify the international standard.
At least another 1 minute to Vivo. You mentioned about social inclusivity and accessibility. So what progress have been made in this area, but also what are the challenges and barriers in this area?
这一块其实主要有2个方面。第一个方面就是整个
The technology is super fast. Now we are exploring with a new AI technology. Well, can we apply it? But when we are designing products, we need to check what are really needed by the customers. For the hearing or sight impaired customers, users, what do they want? So for the hearing impaired users, sign language will be a very effective way of communication. So we need to develop a potential technology to meet these demands instead of finding user scenarios with a new technology. Besides, many people are discussing, well, AI take over human beings or take over the jobs of AI, but we think AI can enhance people's efficiency, sensing, perception, and relieve people from very tedious job. So I think AI for good, how can we leverage AI to improve the perception, improving the productivity and the business performance of mankind. So we pay attention to the needs of the hearing impaired groups. For the sight impaired groups, when they cannot see, how can we leverage LAM to enable them to know what it's like in front of them? But this is not only for the impaired groups.
Having meetings, I have difficulties in hearing. I need AI technology to take the phone calls. And for example, when I'm driving a car, I cannot see the screen of my phone. And I hope that the AI can use this audio tool to help me to operate my phone and answer some of my WeChat and other messages. Here are some of my...
So this is the end of our panel. I'd like to thank all speakers and panelists for making time to be with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Thomas, and thank you to all of our panelists. What a wide range of private sector solutions delivering positive results in the telecommunications industry. Thank you all. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the work that you and your organizations are doing. Thanks also to our audience for sticking with us this afternoon. We've had an action-packed, really full agenda as we talk about using artificial intelligence to positively impact the world, including those United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our next two sessions will focus on innovative programming at the International Telecommunication Union. To discuss the AI for Good Impact Initiative, join me in welcoming Cinia Fontaine from the ITU.
Thank you, Brendan. AI was created by the ITU in 2017. Think about it for a second. It's an eternity in terms of AI years. AI for Good was built on the premise that we have less than 10 years to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And AI holds great promise to advance many of those goals and targets. From climate change to affordable health care, to gender equity and natural disaster management. The applications are here. So what is AI for Good? Simply put, the goal of AI for Good is to identify practical applications of AI to advance the Sustainable Development Goals and scale those solutions for global impact. But how can we do this? Of course, we cannot do this alone. We have 47 UN sister agencies as partners. This is virtually the entire UN ecosystem contributing and leveraging the AI for Good platform. Many experts would say that AI is too important to be left to the experts. That's why many efforts have been brought to bring many voices to the table, from governments, UN agencies, civil society, academia, and even artists. Many of you heard about the AI for Good from the annual summit in Geneva, but we are more than a summit. During the pandemic, we launched a smart matching community platform called Neural Network. Now we passed 35,000 members from 183 countries, 10,000 academics and researchers from top universities across the world, as well as strong industry and civil society participation. These are great opportunities for collaboration. For example, AI for Good has built a pathway for AI-related standards development, and now ITU has over 220 standards published or in development, covering different areas from security, cable networks, multimedia, as well as management of energy in data centers. Many of those standards have been developed with other UN partners, such as WHO, UNEP, FAO, WMO, and many others. Our machine learning challenges and innovation factory pitching competitions identified thousands of AI for Good applications to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. And many of them are coming from developing countries. But despite all these efforts, how can we move from narrow use cases and scale AI for good activities across all SDGs and all regions equally. During the summit in Geneva this May, we launched the AI for Good Impact Initiative to move from event and AI for Good initiatives to the projects and activities that can be inclusive, scalable, repeatable, sustainable, and measurable for all. The Impact Initiative will include regional programming, scaling challenges and competitions, developing research, policy guidelines, standards, benchmarking, capacity building, training, and of course working with startups globally. So we call you, the AI for Good community, to support us in the term of funding, cloud compute resources, expertise, training, and of course thought leadership. And now I would like to introduce our dear friend and colleague, an AI visionary and pioneer, Dr. Ebdesam Al-Muzrei, who joining us remotely and would like to share an important announcement. If you can, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Artificial Intelligence Conference and the AI for Good Innovate for Impact Initiative. We are honored to have you here today as part of the AI for Good Impact Initiative. Your presence signifies your commitment to harnessing the power of advanced technologies, especially AI, for the greater good. Ladies and gentlemen, at the intersection of the AI and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we find immense potential for addressing pressing global challenges. AI today can transform various sectors, including healthcare, agriculture, energy, education, and governance. We can advance the SDGs by leveraging AI and creating a more sustainable and inclusive future. For example, AI-driven personalized learning platforms have significantly improved educational outcomes. In disaster response, AI-powered predictive models have enabled timely evacuation, saving countless lives. AI transforms how we diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases in healthcare. AI algorithms can analyze large volumes of medical data, including patient records and medical images, to identify patterns and make accurate predictions. Furthermore, AI has the potential to address various other SDGs, such as SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, by optimizing energy consumption and improving energy efficiency through AI-powered intelligent grids. In the transportation sector, AI is driving the development of autonomous vehicles, reducing carbon emissions, and promoting sustainable mobility in line with SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. AI for Good Impact Initiative focuses on building global AI ecosystem by fostering strategic partnerships and collaborations with governments, NGOs, civil society, and international organizations to establish inclusive, repeatable, and scalable AI solutions, promote ethical AI, and build responsible use of AI for good. In recognition of the critical role of the AI in advancing the SDGs, I am pleased to announce today the establishment of the Global AI Steering Committee. The AI Steering Committee will bring together AI experts, technology leaders, and visionaries from diverse disciplines worldwide. Their perspectives will shape how AI projects are governed for the common good, fostering a global inclusive approach. Ladies and gentlemen, by fostering collaboration and knowledge exchange, we aim to amplify AI's impact and create a more inclusive and sustainable future for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ebdesam. So we invite you, all of you, to join and support the AI for Good Impact Initiative with the funding, with the resources, and with your heart. And we hope to see you all in Geneva next year in July, the week of 7th of July. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tsinia, and congratulations on the launch of the new AI for Good Steering Committee, an opportunity for people from around the world to connect with the ITU and the AI for Good movement in an official way. I love that the AI for Good Impact Initiative is moving from conversation to implementation. This next ITU program is focused on implementation as well. Who's up for a challenge? Well, Vishnu Ram from the ITU is going to join me on stage to discuss a new machine learning challenge, an opportunity for innovators from around the world to engage. Welcome him to the stage.
Thank you, Brandon. Welcome you all to this competition. It's who's up for a challenge, as Brandon asked. So this is, we are very proud and very happy to announce ITU machine learning competitions. We are a team which is collating data from around the world and making it available for you to win prizes. So what are the primary aspects? What do you need to do these challenges, win these challenges? You need data. You need good quality data. As Shilin mentioned, we want good quality data. And we need code. Data is not sufficient. You need code to model. You need to research. So you want to publish papers. That's where you want to go, good quality research. And ITU is all about standards. So we want to map it to standards. And then there is free lunch. So you need GPUs to compute, to do this processing for you. It's not sufficient. We need a forum. We need to be able to discuss the problems and solve them together. This is what ITU is making that happen. We have challenge repository with data, journal for publishing, open code, machine learning standards, free GPUs. ITU gives free GPUs for participants, and we have webinars and mentoring. Now, we are very happy to announce the existing challenge. These are open for anybody to compete. You can form a team, you can win prizes. You see there is competitions from Denmark, Aalborg University, Rice University in US, and then we have Huawei. These prizes are up for grabs. You can see there are good amount of prizes on the table. Radio resource management is a very important topic. Again, China Mobile mentioned it just now. Multi-user scheduling is an upcoming topic. From US, they have curated the data over a period of 2 years, and large language models are a thing now, and that's the Huawei challenge. We have good prizes left on the table. Now, I would like to call upon my great friend and colleague from Huawei, Shizhong, is here. She will introduce you to the challenge, and let's see what's the prizes.
Thank you, Vishnu. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Xizheng from Huawei. We have been collaborating with ITU on hosting AI machine learning for communication challenge for 2 years now. And last year, we achieved some really good things. Last year, our competition received global attention. We enrolled more than 1,000 participants in the competition from over 83 countries in the world. And more than 300 teams submitted in total more than 12,000 solutions to our competition. And these ideas are brilliant, and they are going to be inspiring our research and practices in the network that will reduce the energy consumption of mobile networks. And apart from the technical side, we are also organizing webinars where participants can discuss about their excellent solutions as well as their thoughts. And in the end of the competition, we held an awarding ceremony at COP28 in Dubai, and we invited the winning team there to present their solution. This year, we are collaborating with ITU again on hosting the competitions, and this year we are continuing focusing on the green aspect in ICT. As we all know that ICT has contributed a lot to the society, not only connecting more people together, but also helped reduce the energy consumption, carbon dioxide emission for other sectors. It's been predicted that by 2030, that more than 20% of the carbon dioxide emission will be reduced because of ICT. However, if we look at the carbon emission in ICT itself, it's still something that we should work on. There are two figures that I would like to share with you. The first is that if we look at the operation of mobile networks, currently still more than 80% of the energy consumption are based on fuel and electricity. That's why we need to increase the percentage of renewable energy usage in the network, so to make the network greener. The second figure is that more than 70% of the energy consumption are at the base station side in the network. So how to reduce the total energy consumption of the network largely depends on how we can reduce the energy consumption of base stations, especially when the traffic need is low at night and when there is less traffic. And in this competition, we are going to invite scientists and researchers from the globe to tackle the energy consumption problem in ICT from these two angles. As we all know that now we have 5G, which is causing quite some energy consumption right now. We are looking at the traffic of the 5G network so that if we understand the traffic, we can reduce the energy more smartly. So the first challenge would be to understand how the beam-wise traffic of a 5G network it varies in the future with historical data. And we encourage participants to tackle this idea with data collected from the network for more than 2 months and provide an artificial intelligence solution that can predict traffic volume for the future. The second challenge is to smartly schedule the energy supply of renewable energy enabled base station. In this base station, we have solar panel, we have genset, we have electricity power grid, and how to schedule the different energy suppliers so that the total energy consumption of the network can be reduced, as well as to guarantee the reliability of the network. This is the technical challenge we're proposing in this problem to the participants. And here we welcome participants from all over the globe to join this competition. We are open to everyone who is interested in these problems. And winning teams will be invited to COP29 this year in Baku to present your winning solution, as well as other top AI conferences to present what's your brilliant idea. And we also have very nice cash prizes as well. If you're interested in our challenges, you're welcome to scan the QR code here and join the challenges here. We are open from July to around mid-August, so that will be around a 2-month period for the challenge. We are very looking forward to see everyone in the competition. Thank you.
好的，谢谢。刚刚我们了解到的这个大赛。
is really very attractive. So we would like to wish our competing teams and contestants can reap good results, I believe all the competitors will be within your own thoughts and your questions. So I want to ask you, how can we promote AI for good continuously and explore a pathway for the win-win collaboration? This is a very broad question. I believe in the sharing next, you might get inspired. Now, we would like to invite Mr. Yu Xiaohui, the president of CAICT, to share his view with us. Many thanks go to our moderator. Now I want to share some of my views with you. It's a great honor for me to share some of my thoughts with you on the meeting co-hosted by MIT and ITU. In the past, we have witnessed the breakthrough of AI technologies. And this chart shows you whether the capabilities of the LLM is on par with of mankind. It seems that the AI and large language models have showcased strong capabilities. Can they be really used, or is now of general use? And that is very important for the development of human civilization. We are now in this stage. It means great opportunities and also tremendous challenges. Today, Mr. Shan has said that on July 1st, the UN Congress for resolutions for AI for good. We are talking about human centricity, AI for good, and benefiting the whole world. This has been supported by the international community. This is in line with the solution addressing the 17 SDGs on the Agenda 2013, how we can reduce poverty and eliminate inequality. So during the government work report, we have proposed the implementation of artificial intelligence plus action. How can we apply artificial intelligence in the different social sectors so it can benefit mankind and promote social progress? From the economic perspective, how can we integrate AI into the different industries? Previously, we have made some breakthrough. Especially, we have made a tremendous breakthrough in the large language models. Which industries are suitable for the application of AI? And we have collected demanders and users, suppliers. So we can see a lot of applicable scenarios, but many of the scenarios are still partial. And we would like to turn these scenarios into the that can empower different sectors. Of course, there are many problems yet to be addressed. Cost, safety, and reliability problems. For the industries, how can we implement AI? And we need to propose a roadmap for the implementation of AI. What problems are yet to be addressed? This January, during the State Council's meeting, we have made a proposal regarding promoting AI-enabled transformation of new industrialization. How can we facilitate the application of AI in a new industrialization? We are talking about we want to achieve high-end intelligence development of industrialization. How can we integrate industrial demands with the scenarios? Steered by the scenarios, how can we advance the application of AI in the key sectors? How can we materialize it? We have made a breakdown chart. how can we integrate the AI with new industrialization? As we will know, the industrialization is featured by manufacturing, organizational R&D, products, transformation. And we need to promote the transformation and restructuring of these aspects. So from the manufacturing, organization, R&D, products, how can we integrate AI with these scenarios and promote the transformation in 6 key dimensions? Previously, and we have done some research of this kind. As you can see, we have analyzed some key application cases. Actually, for the application in the industrial sector, we do have some application of machine learning and also the application of the small language models. Now we can see the application of AI in the electronics, information, automotives, energy, power, petrochemical, steel and iron. And regarding the AI scenarios, it can be applied in the quality supervision, equipment management, production, and that is the status quo. And of course, this is still under discussion. For the large language models, we expect highly of them. Previously, regarding the application of AI in the industrial sectors, we were in face of one problem, that is the industrial fragments. And it needs very high industrial threshold to address the fragmented sectors. The cost is very high and also is very time consuming. Now, how can we apply the large language models to address these pain points? We have summarized the relevance of the industries with the large language models, for example, and how we can improve the enterprises' productivity or operational efficiency, how we can have better retrieval of the data archives, and the coding, the PLCs, auxiliary programming, and the science and a very important part for the application for AI. And we would like to empower R&D breakthrough. So, and now we how can establish the R&D breakthrough. So, and we will present new changes by AI for the large language models. And this is, for example, the industrial CAD through the lateral languages to get to know these demands and generate some parameters. And for example, the quality inspection by Unicom and media, and also the aerodynamic simulation from both Comac and Huawei, which can greatly improve the efficiency and precision. And we can also see the application of humanoid robots in the factories. And I think this robotic intelligence will be a very important direction. And we can see the artificial intelligence application has witnessed great progress. And our director from TSB of ITU, and also Mr. Xie from the technology division of MIIT have released a use cases collection. From over 200 cases, they have selected some of them. If you are interested, you can download the report. And I can tell you that that is a dedicated large language models, and also we can use AI to diagnose cancer. And these are a lot of practices, and especially a lot of developing countries are in face of this. So we are talking about AI for good, AI for all. These are very important opportunities, and this can be applied in the developing countries, for example, how can we use them to have a better diagnosis treatment? So the cases of ITU is very large number and which manifested in different aspects. So I think ITU have put forward very good cases. And we're talking about the human centricity, AI for good. So I think AI can play a very important role in this regard. From the perspective of development, we want the AI to benefit mankind, but we're also in face of the security challenges. And we are now reaching some industrial consensus. So I think we are talking about technical aspects.
Technology, but also society and even human civilization development. International is really important, including AI for Good initiative of ITU and of the UN system. And starting from last year, we see another sign like the US and EU and Japan, Singapore, Korea. They all established the national level AI Safety and Security Research Institute to address such challenge. So from the policy and standard and technical tool-wise, we can see various countries in the world, including China, are dedicated to that. And the CAICT is also honored to be part of this great endeavor. This will help us to better unleash the potential of AI and make it for good and for all. And last year, in October, on the third BRI Forum, Prince Xi Jinping announced the release of the Global AI Governance Initiative, which will talk about people-oriented technology for good, mutual respect, equality, and mutual benefit. And we need to make sure AI is always under human control. For the past, we thought it was all about science fiction, but nowadays, the safety of AI is a pretty serious issue. And we talk about the law, ethics need to go ahead of the technology, and with support to establish AI governance authority under the UN system. And we can summarize these following tools. We talk about ethics first, make it fair and just. We need agile governance and we need technology innovation. And with that, this is really important. Something I want to point out, that AI is developing so fast, you cannot think everything ahead of time. We need to iterate our governance capacity during development. It is really important. Other than ethics and law and standard, we also need to start from beginning to consider the AI for good for our technology. Last but not least, some work of CAICT's effort on AI for good. In serving the industry, as you can see, we have published a series of reports, white papers. We started to do that a few years ago, and we work closely with the industry and academia to develop the trustworthy AI, and this is the benchmark we do. This is a system. As you can see here, we need to know the general capability as whether they can understand, generate, inference, etc. And we test some of the leading LLMs in China. And another thing is the safety benchmark for these LLMs. And we can see we have some bottom line social ethic and data security requirement. And we also benchmark with international practice. I think internationally, we need to have concerted standard and test to promote the AI for good. And this is to be the AI ecosystem. I would like to just briefly mention the AIIA. This is an open organization with more than 1,000 members to promote the application of AI. We're also part of UN Global Digital Compact and supporting the ITU's AI for Good Summit and contribute to the international standardization. We're also building China BRICS AI Development Cooperation Center. This is another endeavor to promote AI for good, benefiting more countries and regions, including social society development and people's welfare. I would say AI is a major transforming force for this era. It has profound impact for the society, economy, and human civilization around the world. And I hope that we can unleash the potential of AI, make it for good and for all. We need to form a global consensus and share the dividend of AI. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Incredible work advancing AI for good at CAICT here in China. Work is also having an impact around the world. How do we make AI work for us? Our next keynote from Gary Marcus will seek to answer that question. Join me in watching his video presentation.
Hi, I'm Gary Marcus, and I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there today in Shanghai. I'll be talking a little bit about my new book, Taming Silicon Valley, how we can ensure that AI works for us. What kind of AI should we want? I think we should start with an AI that's consistent with human rights and human dignity. You can think, for example, of UNESCO's global standard on ethics, on the ethics of AI, talking about respecting, protecting human rights, fundamental freedoms, and human dignity. Or you can think, for example, of the US White House's blueprint for AI. But the kind of AI that we have now, I would say, is one that is technically and morally inadequate. The AI that everyone is focused on now, generative AI, is just one possible approach. It's fun, it's very popular, but it also has a lot of problems. I sometimes like to call it rough draft AI. So, for example, you could write a rough draft of this talk. You could say, what could Gary Marcus say about the limitations of generative AI? And it would probably get some of the common points that I make in many talks. It probably wouldn't get any of the detail right. It would probably butcher some of the points. You can ask it to make images. If they're not borrowed on copyrighted work, they can look very nice. But generative AI has many problems. One example is it has a factuality problem. If you ask it what weighs more, 1 kilogram of bricks or 2 kilograms of feathers, it will tell you insane things like 1 kilogram of bricks and 2 kilograms of feathers weigh the same. And then it will write 3 paragraphs. They're fluent. In the military, we sometimes say frequently wrong, never in doubt. It ends by saying in a vacuum, 1 kilogram of bricks and 2 kilograms of feathers would weigh the same, but in air, 2 kilograms of feathers would weigh slightly less than a kilogram of bricks. It will do other crazy things. Someone said, please write a 1-paragraph biography of Gary Marcus. Please mention his pet. And it gives some things that I think are reasonable or I hope are true, like Gary Marcus is a distinguished cognitive scientist, an author, an entrepreneur. That's great. But then it says crazy things, like notably some of Marcus's more piquant observations about the nature of intelligence were inspired by his pet chicken, Henrietta. I don't have a pet chicken, and I don't have a pet chicken named Henrietta. In fact, this is a very revealing error because it tells you something about what these systems are actually doing. They don't look at biographies. They don't understand what's been said. There's nothing out there that says I have a pet chicken, named Henrietta. Rather, these systems take the statistics of the world, or not really even of the world, of language about the world, and try to make guesses from the statistics about words about how the world works, but they don't even represent the world. They really just represent statistics of words. It turns out that there's a children's book called Henrietta Gets a Nest about a chicken named Henrietta written by Gary Oswald. I'm Gary Marcus. And the system just puts all of that together and makes what we call a hallucination. In fact, although large language models may seem smart, they can't actually sanity check their own work. Adding things like multimodality and grounding in images has in no way solved these problems. I've been critical of statistical models like large language models and their predecessors for over 2 decades, since my 2001 book, The Algebraic Mind. And what I've often heard is, well, we'll make these systems better simply by adding in visual data, by grounding them or something like that. That's not really working. Now that we have multimodal models, we're continuing to see the same kinds of errors that we always did. Here, for example, the system says that this image is an octagon and it isn't really, or it misreads a clock. Even the latest OpenAI model still does this. So you say, who was the first elephant to swim across the English Channel? And you can see the answer here. Instead of saying, I don't know, or no elephant could swim across the English Channel, that's absurd, it makes something up. And what it makes up sounds plausible, but it isn't true. The first elephant to swim across the English Channel, it says, was Jumbo, an Indian elephant. Jumbo made the historic swim in 1959, starting from Calais and arriving at Dover as part of a publicity stunt arranged by a circus owner. It's completely grammatical. It's also completely false. Generative AI also has a bias problem. So, for example, portray all leaders as white males. There's discrimination in hiring and so forth. This is a problem that we've known about for a decade, and yet there's really no solution so far. Generative AI also has a plagiarism problem. So here's some output from GPT-4 on the left, actual text from the New York Times. Everything in red is basically stolen from the New York Times. These systems reconstruct statistics based on all of the data that they've seen. If they've seen multiple versions of a story, then the words exempted from regulations, subsidized, blah, 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 all just flow out of it because that's what the statistics are. We've seen the same thing in visual domains. So I did some work with the artist Reed Southen, and we found all of these images of common properties from Hollywood films are easily recreated, even if you don't prompt the system to do that. So if you say something like Italian plumber, you will get the video game character Mario, even though you haven't asked for it. I would call the AI that we have today unstable AI. It's unanchored in reality. And that brings many risks. So there are risks of it being used for disinformation, for market manipulation, accidental misinformation, defamation, non-consensual deepfakes, accelerating crime, cybersecurity and bioweapons, bias and discrimination, privacy and data leaks, intellectual property taken without consent. Also, the over-reliance on unreliable systems as people might put these tools into weapon systems or electrical grids, and there are huge environmental costs. There may also be serious long-term risks. So many CEOs, for example, signed a letter about a year ago saying that mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear wars. I'm not sure that it's quite as bad as that, but I'm not absolutely sure that it isn't. I think it's right to say that we should take the long-term risks seriously and that we as a society, as a globe, don't really have solutions to that yet. I've made many recommendations for policy. I'm not completely familiar with the policies in China. The rest of the talk will really be about my understanding of the US. First thing I would say, though, and this is universally applicable, is that there are many risks, not just one, and that existing law was written long before large language models and generative AI. It's not realistic to expect a silver bullet, a single solution to all of the risks from AI, or to expect that existing laws will cover everything that needs to be covered. What's fundamentally most important, I think, at least in the US context, is agility. I think it's also important in a global context. We also need transparency. We need full accounting of what data is used to train models, full accounting of all AI-related incidents as they affect bias, cybercrime, election interference, market manipulation, and so forth. We need full disclosure of all the testing that's taken place internally. We need something like the US FDA to approve large-scale deployments to say, are the benefits here greater than the risks? We need post-release auditing by independent third parties that can tell us, for example, have these systems been used for discrimination and how? We need liability laws. We need layered oversight. So, for example, the reason that world's commercial flights are so safe is because we have multiple layers of regulation around how you design an aircraft, how you test it, how you maintain it, how you investigate it if there's an accident. We need independent oversight with scientists in the loop. And we need, I believe, national and global AI agencies. The good news in the United States was when I spoke to the US Senate about it, all of these things, or most of these things, many of the senators from both parties were very supportive of many of them. The bad news is in the US, not a single one of these things has actually been put to a vote in the Senate. Really, I'm afraid that what we need to talk about is not the science here, but the money and the context that's driving things. We have to recognize that the interests of technologists do not necessarily align with the interests of humanity. There was a cartoon where leaders from many countries said, we declare AI to be potentially catastrophic. And then every country is saying, I can't wait to develop it first. The same is true for every company. We shouldn't be letting the big tech companies decide everything for humanity. So for example, open source may pose risks. Some people like it, some people don't. I think it's a very difficult question. I don't know the right answer myself. But what I would say is it shouldn't be just up to the people who run Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, to decide everything for humanity, but that's actually what's happening. We have someone like Jan LeCun talks to Mark Zuckerberg, and they decide for everybody whether or not open source is good by releasing their things, despite the fact that it might be misused by bad actors. Skip that one. There was a cartoon in 2012 that said, yes, the planet got destroyed, but for a beautiful moment in time, we created a lot of value for shareholders. It's a very dark cartoon. And what's maybe even more frightening is that that cartoon has now been replicated in the real world, so to speak. Sam Altman, the leader of OpenAI, said that AI is most likely to lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there'll be lots of great companies created. That worries me. If there really are risks that threaten all of us, should we be racing forward without any regulation at all? Another thing that I worry about quite a bit is regulatory capture. So for example, in the United States, Washington is trying to do the right thing, but it's very influenced by the companies. So regulatory capture is a kind of corruption when the government winds up doing what the big companies want rather than what's best for all the people. And I have concerns that that's happening, not just in the United States, but really around the world. The big companies are setting the agenda too much. A further concern is about hype. Hype is and always has been the standard operating procedure in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley wants you to think that AGI, artificial general intelligence, is imminent. If people saying it will come in 2025 or 2027, I don't think it's actually plausible. If it really were the case that artificial general intelligence was imminent, it might make sense to focus solely on existential risk and not all of the other risks that I've talked about. We might then want to set aside the fact that companies have no practical ways of dealing with the short-term risks that I've talked about. Maybe we would stop paying attention to the enormous theft of intellectual property, for example. But artificial general intelligence is not imminent. Don't let them fool you. We need to address the real-world problems of AI. And I say this as someone who loves AI. I think that AI could help revolutionize medicine, science, technology, but we also need to mitigate all of these risks. Unfortunately, hype is standard operating procedure in Silicon Valley. So for example, Elon Musk has been promising us mass-produced robotaxis year after year after year since, I think, 2019. They haven't really arrived. In reality, in fact, I think we may have reached a point of diminishing returns for the current paradigm. So somebody, Ethan Mollick, who's popular in the United States, said the current best estimates of the rate of improvement in large language models show capabilities doubling every 5 to 14 months. But that's just not true. So for example, if you look at the measure MMLU that a lot of people use, there was a kind of a doubling in performance from GPT to GPT-3, from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 4. But GPT Turbo is not that much better than GPT-4, which has been out for almost 2 years. I looked at another measure called NYT connections and found essentially the same kinds of results. So there may have been exponential increase in AI capabilities for a while, but things have actually slowed down. I do think a better AI is possible, one that is technically and morally adequate, one that's consistent with human rights and human dignity. But to get there, we might need to take some clues from the human mind. A favorite quote of mine is that the human mind is not one thing but many. As we develop AI policies, we need to be realistic about the current limits of AI and need to find ways to move beyond it. Try to get this out of the way. As a case study, consider Daniel Kahneman's famous two systems of cognition. System one that I would describe as reflexive, intuitive, and data-driven, and system two that's deliberative and reason-based. Generative AI, which is popular now, is essentially like system one. It's good at learning, but it's poor at other things. It's poor at reasoning. It's very data hungry. It's not interpretable. We don't really know what goes on inside these models. It's prone to hallucinations. On the plus side, it's very scalable. On the downside, it's grounded in language use, but not really directly in the world. System two is more like classic symbolic AI. It's good at reasoning, but poor at learning. It's data efficient, it's interpretable, it's hallucination free, but it's a lot of work to handcraft it. It is grounded in facts. The truth is neither of these two approaches has worked on its own. And I think that leads to a straightforward conclusion, which is the human mind combines both, and AI needs to do the same. AI has tried to make do with one or the other, but with poor results. We've had a lot of intellectual animosity between neural networks and symbolic AI, with lots of fights over grants and resources and prestige, which have delayed the field maybe by decades. If we can figure out how to build an AI that combines the best of both worlds, we can create an AI that is learnable, data efficient, interpretable, reliable, verifiable, and grounded in facts, and one that's capable of reasoning about human values. A few companies own System 1, but it's not too late to develop a new approach to AI that can be a public good working for the public interest. And I would say the issues with AI parallel those with climate change. We need to act with urgency. There's a limited time window for action. I don't think that governments will do this unless people tell them how important it is to them. So I think that everybody in the world really should get up and say, hey, we need to get this right, because the choices we make now will have lasting effects, quite possibly for decades or even centuries. I thank you very much.
Thank you to Gary Marcus. What a thought-provoking presentation to close our program here at AI for Good, Innovate for Impact 2024. It has been an action-packed program today. We've heard from government leaders, we've heard from telecommunication and tech leaders, we've heard from entrepreneurs, and we've also been challenged to address some of the biggest issues facing our world as we look to use artificial intelligence to advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. DeLong, what did you think about the program today?
其实最想说的还是感谢，因为今天呢很多的嘉宾来。
To share their insightful views on AI for good. And among the different experts, they share a consensus. AI for good leads the concerted efforts of mankind, of all the society. So under the concerted efforts, we can maintain AI for good, empower the future. At the same time, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for the engagement and participation.
For joining us and enjoy WAIC 2024.
好，朋友们，活动到此结束，再会。
See you next time.